Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulihil Kareem wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsanin ila yawmiddin. Amma ba'd. Brothers and sisters, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to another session of our series, Make My Heart Firm. Today's dua is a dua for those people who are looking for miracles, because miracles is just something ordinary for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We call it miracles because we see them as super ordinary events or as extraordinary events, but yet for Allah is business as usual. I mean, this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does those things without his orders just be, and it is, and things are done. That is the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if sometimes when you're involved in Islamic work, people are amazed how things happen, but the believers who believe in Allah, whose trust is strong in Allah, and who have that faith in Allah, they know that this is something ordinary, although it seems extraordinary to other human beings, but this is just who Allah is and how things are done. So this is what happened to Zakaria, Prophet Zakaria alayhi salam. He saw that Maryam rahimahullah, that she was getting all these benefits and she was getting food from nowhere, and from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and she was being taken care of. So he himself had become very advanced in his age, along with his wife, and there was no chance in the regular way to have a child, and he wanted a child. So, but they both Prophet Zakaria alayhi salam and his wife knew that through the normal means that they will not be able to have a child. So Prophet Zakaria, when he saw these amazing things happening with Maryam, he immediately turned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well, and this is the ayah. His dua is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran in Surah 3, Surah Ali Imran, ayah 38. هُنَالِكَ دَعَا زَكَرِيَّا رَبَّهُ, that it is right then when he saw this with Maryam rahimahullah, that he immediately turned to Allah and he called upon his Lord. Zakaria called upon his Lord, and he said, رَبِّ هَبْ لِي مِن لَدُنْكَ ذُرِّيَّةً طَيِّبَةً إِنَّكَ سَمِيعُ الدُّعَاءِ. 10 words. He said, my Lord, grant me a good offspring. رَبِّ هَبْ لِي مِن لَدُنْكَ ذُرِّيَّةً طَيِّبَةً. My Lord, give me from yourself, grant me from yourself a good offspring. ذُرِّيَّةً طَيِّبَةً. إِنَّكَ سَمِيعُ الدُّعَاءِ, that you are certainly the hearer of our du'as, of our supplications, of my supplication, and you are the hearer of all supplications. So Zakaria alayhi salam, he knew that in the normal way they could not have children, so he turned to Allah because he had those good thoughts about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he knew that if he was to just turn to Allah with his sincerity and his genuineness, that Allah is capable of anything. Allah is capable of anything, and a child could come. A child could come if Allah willed it, and if Allah decreed it, then a child will come, and it's just as simple as that. And indeed, that's what happened. They received a child, Yahya, and of course, this is a big lesson for all of us today. That this dua, he asked for a miracle, and he was given that miracle because of his connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of his sincerity and his trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He thought well of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He didn't have any doubts or any misgivings, or that I don't know if this is really going to happen, but if it happens it's good, if it doesn't then it's okay. He didn't have that type of a nonchalant attitude. He had that yaqeen, the certainty of faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that miracles can happen, things are possible out of the ordinary. So in our world today, brothers and sisters, people, sometimes people wonder that if you become a certain age, like if you're 60, 70, people think you're not going to memorize the Quran. And you start memorizing the Quran, but because people say, come on, you're so old, you're not going to be able to do this. So again, miracles are possible. If you just make that dua to Allah, oh Allah, grant me. And again, the word in Arabic that he used is hab, which is to grant me, meaning that this is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so you're asking for a gift from Allah. There's nothing that you have to give back in return. So he's saying it in a very polite way to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in the same way, we can ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you don't know Arabic, for example, and you think it's virtually impossible, ask Allah. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah, make this dua, Rabbi habli. And of course, he's asking for a good offspring. And that's another issue that for us as Muslims, we should not just ask Allah for a child, but we should ask for a good child that would be good in this world and also in the hereafter, to carry on the message of Islam. So, but in this way, often people say that, come on, it's impossible to build a community. It's just not possible, and you're just forming your own ghetto. Again, if you are doing it in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, anything is possible. Anything is possible at all. People say that, look, where are you going to get the money to have an Islamic school? It's impossible to run a professional school unless you have a lot of money in the bank, and so on. Again, brothers and sisters, Allah can make anything possible. Allah can make anything possible. Sometimes people think that they've committed so much sin that there's just no way for them to become a good person. And people make excuses by saying, well, that's just the way I was created, or that's just my character, I am like this or like that. But you make dua to Allah to change your character. You ask Allah to bring you closer to Allah, and miracles like this can happen. So brothers and sisters, a dua like this gives us a lot of hope that nothing is impossible for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as our scholars used to say, that if Allah is with you, then does it matter who's against you? Does it matter who's against you? And if as some other scholars used to say, that if you have Allah in your life, then what don't you have? And if you don't have Allah in your life, then what do you have that is more important, more precious? Brothers and sisters, as always, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answer all our du'as. And until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.